everybody. We've got another episode of 9-1 Wine.
And a very special guest, Matteo Abreu today, has joined us, and he's brought some...
This is a Aubert Pinot Noir. Howdy, y'all.
Very nice.
2015.
Thanks for bringing the wine. This is actually just a cheap way for Hillary and I to be able to drink some really good wine. So we thank you. But I did want to start by asking you, Matteo, what is it you think we do here?
Well, you guys pretty much just expose all the locals.
May not be.
I mean, that's pretty much it.
In a great way, though.
We keep names out of it.
I want to name names.
Do you?
I think we're going to name names tonight.
You'll be run out of town with, like, pitchforks.
No, we're naming it. Because what are we eating tonight with our Pinot Noir?
Some partacelli salami and cheese.
Man, you can't beat it. And we even have some olive oil, Napa Valley Olive Oil Company, extra virgin olive oil. It's going really well with some focaccia bread made by ours truly.
And then we also have Matteo's olive oil.
Yeah, so I actually ran by the olive oil factory earlier this afternoon. It was 4:30, so I called Dante and left him a voicemail. He called me back, and he opened up, went through the back, cut me some cheese, got a bottle of olive oil, got some salami, and that's the kind of local stuff you look for, you know?
I was going to say, I feel like that's kind of a good representation of St. Helena.
I love those people, man.
Yeah.
And Particellis are the bombs. So, Hillary, what month are we talking about from the St. Helena police log?
We're talking about January
Cool.
For our current one. And then for our old one, we're doing April 1995 because...
Why did you choose that year?
That's the year and the month that Matteo was born.
Yeah.
Youngster.
I grew up with Matteo. He is my little brother. Is one of his best friends. So I think of him as like the little kid running around our house.
Naked.
Probably.
Anyway, this is Tuesday, January 7th at 1708. The brass letters K and R were reported missing from a water feature sign at the entrance to a winery near Main Street and Deer Park. Any idea what K and R brass letters might have been at a winery?
You know, there's like one winery out there, so it's
One.
really hard to narrow it down.
Well, I did see as I was driving by an UG winery.
That's it.
I was wondering who the new guys were on the block. UG. Any idea?
Charles Krug.
Hey, we have a winner. Enter the ding, ding, ding sound effects. Yeah, so Charles Krug, actually, they're definitely not the new guys. Probably the oldest.
I think they're the oldest.
The oldest winery in Napa County.
History for you.
Yeah. So who said you don't learn anything by listening to 9-1 Wine? You sure do. Well, I hope they found the K and the R.
Who do you think took it? Someone like a Ken Raymond?
Ken Robertson?
Or a...
Do we know anyone with the KR? KR Rombauer.
KR Rombauer.
Yeah.
God, don't blame
Did
KR.
it?
Report of an injured raccoon on Allen Avenue. So if you listened to last month's podcast, I would assume that you would remember that Public Works is unavailable after 3:30 and doesn't do, I think, raccoons,
do
deer.
I don't know about raccoons.
They might do raccoons. Anyway.
But we assumed that the raccoon was taken to Dr. Gold and did CPR and survived.
That's true. He
and
did.
is now flourishing.
Thank God.
Matteo, do you want to read one from your birthday month?
Sure. See, this olive oil is fabulous, by the way.
It is really good.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Citizen calls via cellular phone to report that a truck ran him off the road and then flipped him off in Yountville. Officer stops truck at Main and Crenella. Reporting party comes into PD to sign complaint. That's pretty lame, but let me tell you what really happened. The officer came out and he was at gunpoint. So what did he do? He uses extreme police skills to detain the individual and arrest him. That's what really happened.
I like how they added in there via cell phone. Because in 95,
Yeah,
if you had a cell phone,
It's a big deal.
you're doing all right. It's a big deal.
Anyway.
When did you get your first cell phone?
I got a my grandpa's hand-me-down phone in 8th grade.
Ooh.
It had no texting. I think I just used it to call like my mom. It was for when I was babysitting, so I'd have like a phone. I got a
way to call
Paul
911.
Frank case for it. It was pretty top notch. When did you get your first phone?
I don't know. I think I was a freshman probably. So yeah. No, it was junior. I think I was a junior. Yeah. It's a Nokia.
You had one a lot younger.
Yeah. I think by 2000, what it was in 2008, in 6th or 7th grade.
You were 6th and 7th grade in 2008?
Maybe 2007. 6th grade, RLS middle school. I got a chocolate or a razor or something.
Ooh.
Chocolate. Is that a thing?
You know, those
Yeah.
things broke when you were that young. That's why they shouldn't have passed them out that early.
How about this? Thursday, January 9th. 2 people stuck in an elevator on Adams Street. They were able to get out. Yet this still made the police log.
Oh, good. I would probably call the police department if I was stuck in an elevator.
Well,
I would
that's
have
who
a
you're
little
stuck
bit of
with.
panic. That's true. If I like the person, I might hang out for 5 minutes. What about 2:35 on Wednesday, April 12th, 1995? Citizen reports hearing strange noises from behind a downtown restaurant. Officer finds restaurant employees dumping stuff in the garbage. Glad we got that cleared up.
Wow,
I don't know if
yeah.
I have anything to add to that.
Well, when I was down in Rutherford, we had a raccoon we presumed dead in the trash can. Lo and behold, the raccoon jumped out at the garbage man, and we got a phone call about it. That's about all I could say.
You didn't call Public Works?
No, we didn't. I mean,
what did
in
the garbage man
Rutherford,
say? Don't throw away raccoons? I mean, what are you going to argue?
So the Pestoni side of the family, my mom got the phone call because she worked there, still does work there. Great family,
So,
great grandparents.
talk about, you're a 5th generation St. Helena.
We've got a lot of history.
Napa Valley.
Yeah.
Napa Valley?
Napkin? No.
Oh, God, no. Don't say napkin.
No.
Rutherford, grew up in Rutherford.
Okay.
Yeah, Pestoni, Abreu combo. I think I'm a 5th generation on my mom's side and a 4th generation, depending on when my great-great-grandparents came here. But I think somewhere, 5th generation. So
you always knew you'd come home after college. and
Oh,
stuff.
absolutely. It's just the line of work that we do here, whether it was farming for the Pestonis or farming for the Abreus. It was definitely in the works.
Nice. So you came back. Where'd you go to school again?
I went to San Luis Obispo, Cal Poly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Actually went to Cuesta first.
What'd you major in?
Wine and viticulture.
Oh, man. Which works perfectly for your current job. So you're back to working for the Abreu gang?
Yeah.
The Abreu family of... What do you call it?
A
Well,
clan?
The Abreu
it's just,
group?
I just call it DAVM, man.
David Abreu Vineyard Management.
Yeah. So
Cool.
great.
So what do you do for the fam? What keeps you busy?
Since I've been home, a lot of work with sampling for virus, doing a lot of viticultural operations. And so I just check on each ranch and make sure that all operations are rolling smooth, whether that's cultivation, mowing,
Nice.
virus sampling, pesticide spraying. It's kind of just an overseer, to be
Cool.
honest.
That's awesome.
It's a pretty...
Because you guys have a
sweet
lot
job.
of different ranches you take care of and manage, and then the ones you own too. So
Yeah.
how far do you guys have to travel? What's your circle of your range here?
Yeah, our radius isn't that bad.
Yep.
And the farthest we go north is Calistoga, and the farthest south is only one ranch that's way down on Atlas Peak.
Cool.
And then the rest of them are from Yountville to St. Helena.
Nice.
Wow.
So,
Strictly Napa.
You
That's
know, Howell
awesome.
Mountain
Yeah.
is in that St. Helena category, but
Yeah.
when you take that into account, it really makes work a lot.
Nice.
A lot
So what's your
more.
favorite ranch that you guys own or run, or
Good Lord.
what do you got? What do you think? It's a big question.
Favorite personal ranch
Mm-hmm.
for my father would be the Thorvilos Ranch.
Yeah.
I just started growing blueberries at our Howell Mountain Ranch, so that's in competition. And then my favorite client ranch, I gotta say, is Bryant because the view is just absolutely spectacular.
Awesome. That's up by just off of Hennessy.
Just up from
Like
the boat docks.
Yeah.
I love running tractor there because it's really challenging. It's rocky. It's steep. And it makes you be on your toes the entire time you're driving the tractor. You can't doze off or be doing something else. You're just totally focused on being in that road, doing whatever you're doing. And whether it's hauling fruit or mowing grass or spading up the dirt, it's
cool.
Very pretty.
Yeah, I would crash. I kill vines on flat land and on Nebom Lane, and my dad gives me the look of disdain, so...
Anyway, back to the log. We have another noise complaint.
Let me guess, Hunt Avenue?
It was not on Avenue.
Oh, thank God.
Persons played loud music in front of a downtown business agreed to turn it down after officers respond to citizen complaint. What time do we think this was?
It's because it's St. Helena. I'm going to say someone's complaining because it's 9 p.m.
It was 11 a.m., actually.
11 in the morning.
And what day of week do we think it was?
Oh, that's definitely on Tuesday.
It was a Wednesday.
No way. Okay.
It was a
Okay.
Wednesday.
Fair enough.
Do you have one, Matteo?
This was probably me in high school or sometime around there, but a Hunt Avenue resident had been hearing loud bass music for 15 to 20 minutes. I know that when I was in high school, I played loud bass too, and I'm sorry to everyone around town.
Yeah, but you were in Rutherford, right? Or were you in St. Helena by that point?
By that point, when I was 13, I had moved back up to St. Helena.
Okay. But you lived in Rutherford. That's the important part.
Yeah,
Because I'm from Rutherford. So
was-
what was Rutherford growing up like?
I feel like you guys
Rutherford
have
was
good
amazing.
stories.
I'd like to start off by saying we used to dress up in face paint and camouflage and
Dude, how did we
Run-
never run into each other
Yeah.
and shoot each other with paintballs?
yeah, we
Lucky.
would be down in the Napa River riding dirt bikes, and me and Hillary's brother Richard had a lot of experiences. Just
And his foot is never recovered?
so there was an all-star game back in the day, and Richard fell off the quad, and I ran over his ankle, and then we had to get old man Rulon, Gabby Rulon's dad, to come down and escort Richard out of there, and via helicopter.
Chris was driving
Seriously?
it, not flying it.
I probably did.
No.
Yeah, probably not.
No,
Maybe.
he did not helicopter out for an ankle.
Best place to screw around in Rutherford.
Was the
Yeah.
Napa River.
Definitely Napa River. It's
Yeah.
cool.
It was awesome.
It looks like, a male, age 31,
A youngster.
was arrested for fighting behind a local establishment, released 4 hours later on promise to appear. He promised.
Back in 95, if you could get in a fight at Anna's. It had to be Anna's.
A male released 6 hours earlier for fighting, now extremely drunk in Lyman Park, taken to hospital.
He
He didn't learn
didn't
his
make
lesson.
it. Was that him?
I don't know.
Definitely him.
It was possible.
It was him.
Have you ever made the police log?
You took it to me?
No, to Matteo.
I'm gonna tell.
I've never read the police log, so I wouldn't know.
Dirt bike, fireworks.
Back in the day,
What?
riding dirt bikes through the creek was not a problem. Nowadays, you have people come out on their porches and they want to hassle you.
Everyone's
They call
worried.
the cops. Cops have to do a report. And the fact that I read my engine a few times looking at the resident and rode off in a very loud manner, you know, behind the cemetery in Sulphur Spring Creek, not a big deal. Not a big deal. That's why I didn't
How
get
far can you go
chased.
up? Can you ride up to like, how far?
So we farm a vineyard right
Yeah.
adjacent to the cemetery, and so
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
I was checking on the block
Sure.
on my dirt bike. I was checking on the
Checking the
bones,
drips.
and then I
Sure.
just figured, hey, I'm gonna go check out the creek, ride through the creek,
Yeah,
and then
I'd lie if I said I didn't do that too.
yeah,
Same thing.
and so you get some
Me
angry
too.
person.
And Hill.
I ride my quad up Main Street to go check on patients.
The best time I got caught on a dirt bike was when we rode from Rutherford, my house. My brother, me, and Matt Jimenez rode up to OK Tire, got to Pope Street, and we were on the Pope Street Bridge going to the Silverado Trail, and a cop pulled up behind us and
No.
stopped us and told us to get off our bikes. And we were going to go up Old Hound Mountain Road all the way to Angwin.
Oh.
And it would have been the greatest adventure.
He let you
And,
go though?
No. Our parents had to. Cole Ballantyne was there too. Our parents had to come get us with a trailer, and we loaded up all our bikes, and that was that. We went home. No fines, no nothing, which is fine. But we were definitely crossing some terrain.
Man, that would have been a sweet ride. It could still be done.
It could definitely still. Be
So if you hear of any dirt bikes riding through town up to England, we know who it was.
Oh, we don't do anything.
I'll be on the Rutherford side.
Yeah.
It might be me on a 4-wheeler. How about this? Friday, April 14th. 9 o'clock in the morning. Citizen suggests that marijuana is growing in a flower bed at a downtown building. This is in 95, mind you, where marijuana is still kind of illegal. Officer responds. Officer responds, and what do you think he found?
Dandelions.
Weeds.
Yeah.
Weeds growing there.
But not the weed.
End of story, code 4.
Not the weed.
Not the weed.
No CBD, no
But
THC.
Is that a song?
No.
It could be.
I like it.
Okay, what about a mini brown dachshund named Chica ran away from Fulton Lane? About 90 minutes later near Lyman Park, the community service officer found 3 people walking a dog matching Chica's description.
Chica! Come back
They
home.
claimed the dog belonged to them. The dog was identified as Chica, and the people walking her left the area. Chica was returned to her owner.
Yes!
And all was well. in
That's the
family
most
now.
fulfilling police log entry yet in the history of this podcast. Thankfully, Chica made it home. How do you think they identified it was Chica? Photo?
Markings.
They called her Chica? Chica?
I wonder if that I feel like if you're gonna steal a dog, like in the park by the police station, you're not gonna take its collar off.
Not the best place to do it.
All right, I got one. This was January 10th. Medical aid for an extremely drunk woman feeling ill on Main Street. Could have guessed where she'd be at. The old cantina.
True.
Were there any other bars back then?
I don't think
in
so.
95? Was there a different bar? Did you guys know?
Yeah, there was I don't think 95, but before that there was a bar, like where the Saint is now. Because I've heard scandalous stories about, I'm not even going to get into that, scarred by memory, of activities that happened in the restroom. But I don't remember.
Are you sure that's not Anna?
Was it Anna's?
Take me back to Vienna. This was at 2100.
So
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock, so probably Anna's.
Yeah, fancy.
Because if it was like 2 p.m., it could have been just a wine taster. Was out and about.
Could have been. Let's see.
What do you guys think of the Pinot Noir, if you don't mind me?
I was actually going to come back to that.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Would you
It's
call
really
it
good.
fruit forward?
True.
Maybe?
Yeah, I feel like that term gets used,
But I
a lot.
actually feel like that's
but it
real
is. It's
in
really.
this.
It's got a really good
But
aroma.
not
Okay.
sweet.
No, definitely.
So
I'm working on my wine lingo. How
Yeah.
it's
So,
not heavy. in
Tell us how you
tannin.
know about the place, Matteo.
this is let me just go
Give
into a
us a-
little bit. Mark's been really good friends with my dad for a long time, and we farm a little bit of his Rutherford Chardonnay, his estate grown stuff, and this is his Pinot from Sonoma Coast. But what I remember most from school, our sensory analysis class, was you have the primary aromas, which are straight from the Pinot Noir variety. And then the secondary are from fermentation, primary and secondary fermentation. And then your tertiary are from barrel, oak, and all additives. So the primary things that I would kind of take into account,
Wow.
Pinot Noir, the variety itself, I feel like it's a lot softer than the Cabs and the Merlots and everything. So you're getting kind of like a lighter berry. You're not getting like the heavy currants or
Yep.
anything. And from the fermentation of Pinot Noir, I don't think you do that much to it.
And he probably used neutral oak on this, or what did he? Doesn't smell.
I'm not
over
sure
it,
if he
so.
uses French or American, but
That's
you know,
good.
I think it's really soft and subtle, and it's a good wine, and he does really well with it. I know that. So
So for people that don't know wine well, we all know this sitting here, but a Pinot. So like in Napa Valley, Florida, I feel like we're really known for Cab, right?
yeah,
So like Pinot is more coastal. Do you want to explain that a little bit?
I know enough that Pinot's definitely coastal. Pinot's definitely cooler climate, as a Chardonnay is too. And you want a coastal influence, which Napa has, but it burns off quicker. Mm-hmm. So Napa will gain a lot more degree days, which is an index to calculate heat, and it'll calculate basically how much heat you need throughout a season to gain maturity. And so with a Pinot Noir, you can get maturity with more cool climate days compared to hot, or cool and then hot days.
Nice.
Where in Napa we get fog, but it burns off, especially Calistoga, and then the farther you go south, it'll make its way back into the bay.
Man, we picked the right guy for
Pretty
some wine
general.
knowledge.
This is not rocket science.
Hey, it's rocket science.
As a farmer, you just know climate is really important with varietal selection.
You know, but I didn't have any farmer classes in school, and I went to a lot of school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That's why we're cross training right now.
You could help.
Now, teach us how to do an IV.
Oh, that's nothing. Let's do it.
Oh God,
where's our tourniquet when we need it? I feel like I should clarify in this podcast. I'm a nurse practitioner, but I have a doctorate degree because I don't want people thinking like, I did more schooling than I did.
That's a lot of schooling.
I mean, it was, but I don't want to misrepresent myself. This is a really good one. Thursday, January 30th of 2020. Wow. At 6:17 p.m., so not too late, 2 suspicious women dressed all in black came to a man's house on Sylvaner Avenue and asked if he knew anyone who needed service, in quotes. Okay. Vacuum, barbecue sauce.
Whoa.
What kind of service are we talking here?
Maybe like window washing, car cleaning.
At 6:17 at night? It's early for any
What time?
This
is January. What time of year was that?
January.
Oh my God! Oh, this is the current one. January.
This is current.
It's dark at 6:17 in January.
Yeah.
Did they have internet back then?
It's right now. It's 2020.
This is current?
Yeah.
Wow, they didn't knock on my door. That was a joke. I have a girlfriend.
Thank you for clarifying. Oh my God. They didn't knock on my door either.
Can we find out whose door they knocked on and get the rest of the story?
Let's go on a...
So we always ask this question. April 1995, even though we already know your answer, where were you? Just born.
Just born.
Okay. You were in 5th grade?
5th grade.
And I was still at We Care with the dog.
We care.
Right? That's what I said.
We talk about Wii bowling? Wii tennis? I'm really good at that one. Wii tennis.
We Care Preschool. And there's also We Care the Dog Place.
Oh. Did you ever tell any of your listeners about how me and Richard met on the soccer field? That's probably a good story.
So, Matteo came into my life on a Saturday afternoon on a soccer field. And I'll let you take it over from here.
Hell, were you there?
Probably. I was an avid supporter of my brother's athletics.
We were on the soccer field, and I think I passed the ball to Richard. He passed it back to me. We were on the same team, different team. Who knows? This guy comes up to me.
Which soccer field is this? This is Carpy Field?
No, this was at the.
By the bocce court.
Where the skate park is now.
Of course.
Yeah.
Wherever the skate park is, that's Crane.
Park.
That's
Crane
Crane.
Park.
Yeah.
Crane Park.
So Richard comes up and he's like, "Hey man, let's be friends, Dude, out of nowhere, I gave this kid the bird, told him to F off.
And how old were you?
We were 4, 3. Richard runs up to Hooli and goes, "Mom, what's F this mean? F that mean?" Oh man, next thing you know, we got a play date lined up. We're running around. Hooli's cooking eggs and bacon and pancakes. And that was that. That's how that happened. That's why Hillary's my sister from another mister.
Because of your profanity.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, we always remember you that way.
Well, but I've calmed down a lot.
You have calmed down, Matteo. You've grown up a lot. In a good way.
That's great.
I mean, he can get wine. I mean, he can get cheese and salami and olive oil at a moment's notice from the Particellis.
Particellis. I want to
shout out
pay my respect
to the St. Helena Olive Oil Factory for being there when we need them.
When the time is right. I'd like to just give a a family tradition that we used to do. When I would go cut the Christmas tree down, I'd climb a tree, but every Christmas in December, we would go by there and get cheese and salami and bread and olive oil, and we'd go up and cut a tree down, and we'd eat salami and cheese. And it was a yearly tradition to go by there.
And it's cash only.
And it's cash only, and it's friendly, and
Yep.
when you know the family, they all respect you.
My mom would send me care packages in Afghanistan of nothing but stuff from the olive oil factory. Yeah, so salami,
That's awesome.
all
And
the
it
little
would
bread
last.
stuff. It
That
would last. It'd be
makes
fine. The breadsticks, olive oil. I would live for like a week off that. That was amazing.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a cool story.
So cool, you know? So even in Afghanistan, the St. Helena olive oil factory has a big effect.
Their family
Yeah, so
just does a lot more than people think about
do.
around here. But
Oh, absolutely. How about, at 8:04 in the morning on a Friday, road rage incident on Grayson Avenue. The reporting party was behind the vehicle when the vehicle driver stopped, got out, punched him in the face because the reporting party was driving too close behind him. Driver headed southbound on Highway 29. Bolo, in caps, BOLO, put out for responsible party.
Do you know what bolo means?
No idea.
Do you know what bolo means?
I was trying to figure it out earlier, but I don't.
Be on
The
the
lookout.
lookout.
Oh, be on the lookout.
Oh.
Did they find him? Doesn't sound like it.
It doesn't sound like it.
How about this? Sunday, this is from 95. So Sunday, April 16th. 11:30 at night. Alarm reported at a downtown community office. Officers discover a male, 31, apparently going into seizures. Ambulance called. Officers discover broken window and attempted entry into office. Man taken to hospital. Clothing held by PD as evidence as charges for attempted burglary. So let me get this straight. Guy breaks into an office, has a seizure, loses his clothes, and then gets sent to the hospital. And probably later arrested for attempted burglary.
That's a bummer.
Man,
Like if you're gonna commit a crime and then
don't have a seizure.
and then you have a chronic medical condition
And
like,
don't lose your clothes.
That's well, maybe he was looking for the hot tub.
You know, the state hospital is just down the road.
He was probably eventually admitted.
That's really unfortunate to like seize mid crime.
Yeah.
Maybe he was doing it to get his seizure meds. Maybe he needed money.
Maybe it was a community
Maybe
office.
he was all out of his Kepra.
Wow, look who's the optimist tonight.
Yeah.
All right, you're up. Hillary, go.
On Wednesday, January 22nd, 2020, at 4:03 p.m., an emergency room nurse asked police to check on a Hunt Avenue woman who said she had radiations related to PG&E smart meters.
Yeah, they'll do it. I hope she was wearing her tinfoil helmet, too.
So that means this person called the ER concerned.
Did she talk to you?
No, it was not me, and if it was me, it's HIPAA. I can't tell you it was me, but it wasn't me.
Can you neither confirm nor deny? You're so professional, Hillary. Again, Hunt Avenue.
Hunt Avenue.
Why? You ready for another Hunt Avenue?
Yeah.
So, January 25th at 1:52 in the afternoon, a big white couch with a free sign was left on a curb on Hunt Avenue. All right, next.
Okay, what about the loose Aussie... Okay, so we have to touch base about December and January, which we haven't gone into yet. So there was this big thing, I don't know if you guys heard about it, where there were a bunch of Aussie dog puppies running around town. Do you remember that whole thing? No? Oh, yeah, because that got loose all over town. So on Wednesday at 11 a.m., the loose Aussie dog, because we don't need to preface it where this dog came from because they were all over. So like hypothetically last month when that dog went missing in the same yard, they were asking if it was the Aussie dog. And I was like, no, it wasn't. It was reportedly living behind the library and stealing a cat's food every night on Charter Oak Avenue.
Were you responsible for the Aussie dog?
No, I was not responsible for this dog. There were multiple.
Doubtful.
There were puppies that got loose and they were living in the streets of St. Helena.
That sounds like Hillary heaven.
Why do you think I've stayed here for so long?
A caller, Saturday, January 11th, a caller saw a suspicious man park on Tainter Street near the baseball field, get out of his car, retrieve a small hand shovel from the trunk, and dig up an area of ground near the main gate to Carpy Field. End of story. What was he doing? Was he burying his goldfish?
His cat died.
Was he burying Donatella?
Donatella.
She got flushed.
Yeah, she got flushed.
Hillary's fish got
My
flushed.
fish that made the Christmas card.
The 9th life expired.
That's for cats.
Who knows, man?
Poor
It could be.
Donatella.
He could have been digging up a...
I wish they would have put if he had like a metal detector.
Oh, it's probably what he was doing.
buried treasure.
He was
Yeah.
looking for some empty spare change from 5th graders on Carfrey Field.
I bet a lot of 5th graders bury their quarters.
Might as well.
I mean, I know I was a little odd in 5th grade. Not that.
In 5th grade? Let's just say in 5th grade?
In 5th grade particularly.
Okay.
All
right.
But I definitely would have like buried a quarter to. I buried gumdrops once because I thought it would grow a gumdrop tree. So quarters is not that.
And
far
that was
off.
just last
Willy
year.
Wonka. That was right after you watched Willy Wonka.
That was right after Hillary graduated from doctor school. She tried to plant a field of gumball trees. And gumdrops. Mateo had to come along and explain
that for me.
explain the
How to
viticulture, how to prune the gumdrop tree. Yeah.
Let's-
But if that did work, I mean, let's be honest, that would be cool.
I'm still waiting for it to grow.
Okay, keep waiting.
It's been about 20 years. But
How about this
still
one?
waiting.
January 11th at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, police responded to an altercation involving 2 women in a car on Main Street. The driver, a 31-year-old St. Helena woman, was arrested on suspicion of DUI. Yikes. The passenger, also a 31-year-old St. Helena woman, was arrested on suspicion of public intoxication. There's more to the story.
Oh dear.
A large dog in the back seat was taken to the police department and secured in a kennel.
Oh, the poor dog is the innocent victim in
He is
all of
the
this.
innocent victim.
So wait, the one lady got a DUI.
The other lady with public intoxication. So whatever fight they had, they should have just taken it home.
Well, they were trying. They were in the car.
But they should have just held on.
Do you think they were
And
like
gotten
physically
home.
like cat swatting each other in the car? Like, what fight is so vicious in a car between 2 women that you get pulled over?
A parked car, even.
Oh, they were parked.
I don't
They had
know.
to have been slapping each other or some, pulling each other's hair.
This
I mean,
got
for a cop to
vicious.
pull over, they had to
parked
see
car.
some kind of movement that was abnormal. And then for the dog to be in back, it was like, hey, let's just
Probably thought of the dog.
take it home. It's like child support, but for a dog. Take the dog into custody, send the women on their way.
Do we have any more for this month, or is that it?
That's it.
That's it?
That's it. Well, that's all I have.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. I'd like to point out to everyone, this is the first podcast Hillary has not spilled a bottle or glass of wine on her computer.
Yet.
The
Yet.
night is still young.
TBD. Well, that's awesome. Well, Matteo, thanks, man. I mean, it's really, really great to hear from you and your family history, which is huge here in Napa, and just the your ability to continue and sustain the family business and keep working is really something that's awesome, and I think everyone appreciates.
So if people wanted to get your olive oil or do you have any shout outs for us?
You know, most of my olive oil is going to be distributed. Most of my olive oil is going to be distributed probably privately.
And it's worked out. It's delicious.
So
Yeah.
good.
Thank you for
So good.
sharing.
40 cases, 5 of them will be sold locally, 35 will be sold wholesale.
Okay.
Very
Where
nice.
can they find them locally? Do we know yet?
Locally, they need to know me and they need to call me
Okay.
because
okay.
they're going to be gone soon.
Okay. So for us, thank you to everyone that's listened to us so far. I can't believe it's still going. I think I would make everyone do this even if they weren't into it anymore. But please follow us on Instagram at 911 Podcast. Go ahead and listen to us on iTunes or Spotify. You can subscribe and rate 5 stars. If you're going to rate 1 star, just don't bother. Just subscribe. Chris, do you have any other shout outs?
No, not at all. I'm still here, much to my dismay.
He pretends like he's not excited, but he's really
Am
excited.
I?
You are. You really are. Every week he's gleaming with joy.
This is my gleaming face.
You can't see it, but it's a huge grin. Okay, well, I think that's it.
Sayonara.
See you guys.
Bye.
enjoy your evening and be safe.